Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Friends, let's study, investigate and practice the real words of the Buddha. Tonight we are going to discuss another very special discourse of the Buddha from the middle length teachings of the Buddha. As we said last day, we want to talk about gradual training, gradual activity and gradual practice tonight. Last Thursday, we talked about similarities in the ocean and the sasana. As the Buddha very clearly said, in this sasana, in this dispensation, the practice is not abrupt, just like the ocean. So, to understand this nature of the sasana, dispensation, we want to talk on this discourse tonight. This is Ganaka Moggallana Sutta. Ganaka Moggallana is a name of an accountant. Ganaka means accountant. His name was Moggallana. Like the Buddha's two disciples, chief disciples, Sariputta and Moggallana. Like that, the Moggallana was the monk, the chief disciple who sat always on the left side of the Buddha. So, just like that name, this person, an accountant named Moggallana. Once he went to the monastery to see the Buddha, while the Buddha was dwelling at Migara's mother's palace, which was the Eastern Park monastery in Savatthi. When he went to the monastery, he said, Master Gotama, in this palace of Migara's mother, there can be seen gradual training, gradual practice and gradual progress. That is down to the last step of the staircase. Among these, and further he says, among these Brahmins too, there can be seen gradual training, gradual practice and gradual progress. That is in study. Even among archers, he said, among archers too, there can be seen gradual training, gradual practice and gradual progress. That is in archery. Referring to computation, accountancy, he said, among accountants like us who earn our living by accountancy, there can be seen gradual training, gradual practice and gradual progress. That is in computation, accountancy. For when we get, he further said, when we get an apprentice, first we make him count 1 1, 2 2s, 3 3s, 4 4s, 5 5s, 6 6, 7 sevens, 8 eights, 9 nines, 10 tens, and we make him count 100 too. Then he questioned, now is it also possible, Master Gautama, to describe gradual training, gradual practice and gradual progress in this Dhamma and Discipline? Dhamma and Discipline means Buddha's dispensation, Buddha Sasana. Then the Buddha said, it is possible, Brahmin, to describe gradual training, gradual practice and gradual progress in this Dhamma and Discipline. Just as, Brahmin, when a clever horse trainer obtains a fine thoroughbred colt, he first makes him get used to wearing the bit and afterwards trains him further. So when the Tathagata means the Buddha, Tathagata obtains a person to be tamed, he first disciplines him thus. This is the way, the Buddha said. When one comes to this sasana, Buddha said, this is the way to discipline him. Buddha says, come bhikkhu, be virtuous. Be virtuous. First thing is virtuous. Be virtuous. Restrain with the restraint of the Patimokha. Patimokha is the code of discipline. Be perfect in conduct and resort. And seen fear in the slightest fault. Seen fear in the slightest fault. Train by undertaking the training precepts. Training precepts like 5 precepts, 10 precepts. Those are the precepts. When Brahmin, the bhikkhu is virtuous. When the bhikkhu, the person, now when he is virtuous and seen fear in the slightest fault, trains by undertaking the training precepts, then the Tathagata disciplines him further. Now Buddha gives further instructions. Come bhikkhu, guard the doors of your sense faculties. That is the second step. First be virtuous. Now then guard the doors of your sense faculties. On seeing how to guard your sense faculties? On seeing a form with the eye, do not grasp at its signs and features. Signs and features. Since if you were to leave the eye faculty unguarded, evil, unwholesome states of covetousness and grief might invade you. Practice the way of its restraint. Guard the eye faculty. Undertake the restraint of the eye faculty. That is how to restrain eye. These eyes are to be restrained in such a way. Then the Buddha said, ear. On hearing a sound with the ear, they do the same thing. On smelling an odor with the nose, do the same thing. Restrain it. On tasting a flavor with the tongue, do the same thing. On touching a tangible with the body, do the same thing. On cognizing a mind object with the mind, do not grasp at its signs and features. Since if you were to leave the mind faculty unguarded, evil, unwholesome states might invade you. Practice the way of it restraint. Guard the mind faculty. Undertake the restraint of the mind faculty. That is how these faculties, sense faculties, are to be guarded. That is the way to train. When Brahmin, the bhikkhu, guards the doors of his sense faculties, then the Tathagata disciplines him further. Now the Buddha gives further instructions. Come, bhikkhu, be moderate in eating. So you see, first thing is virtuous, be virtuous. Secondly, the Buddha said, guard your senses, 6 senses. Now, the next one, be moderate in eating. Reflecting wisely, you should take food neither for amusement, nor for the intoxication, nor for the sake of physical beauty and attractiveness, but only for the endurance and continuance of this body. That is the purpose of eating. So, with understanding that, we have to eat moderate for ending discomfort. That's why we eat. For ending discomfort and for assisting the holy life. Considering thus I shall terminate old feelings without arousing new feelings, and I shall be healthy and blameless and shall live in comfort. That is the purpose of eating. When Brahmin, the bhikkhu, is moderate in eating, then the Tathagata disciplines him further. Now further disciplines. Come, bhikkhu. Buddha says, come, bhikkhu. Be devoted to wakefulness. Wakefulness is important. During the day, while walking back and forth and sitting. That is meditation. Walking back and forth and sitting. Purify your mind of obstructive states. In the first watch of the night, while walking back and forth and sitting. At night, during the first watch, the same thing. Purify your mind and obstructive states. In the middle watch of the night, you should lie down on the right side in the lion's pose with one foot overlapping the other. Mindful and fully aware. That is how to sleep. Mindful and fully aware. After noting in your mind the time for rising. After rising in the third watch of the night, that's at dawn, while walking back and forth and sitting. Again, practice back and forth, sitting. Walking back and forth and sitting. Purify your mind of obstructive states. When Brahmin, the bhikkhu, is devoted to wakefulness, then the Tathagata disciplines him further. Come, bhikkhu, be possessed of mindfulness and full awareness. Act in full awareness when going forward and returning. Act in full awareness when looking ahead and looking away. Act in full awareness when flexing and extending your limbs. Act in full awareness when wearing your robes and carrying your outer robe and bowl. Act in full awareness when eating, drinking, consuming food and tasting. Act in full awareness when defecating and urinating. Act in full awareness when walking, standing, sitting, falling asleep, waking up, talking and keeping silent. When Brahmin, the bhikkhu, possesses mindfulness and full awareness, then the Tathagata disciplines him further. Come, bhikkhu, resort to a secluded resting place, the forest, the root of a tree, a mountain, a ravine, a hillside cave, a channel ground, a jungle thicket, an open space, a heap of straw. These are the places he recommended to practice. He resorts to a secluded resting place, the forest and these places like that, a heap of straw. On returning from his alms round after his meal, he sits down, folding his legs crosswise, sitting his body erect, and establishing mindfulness before him, abandoning covetousness for the world. He abides with a mind free from covetousness. He purifies his mind from covetousness. Abandoning ill will and hatred, he abides with a mind free from ill will. Compassionate for the welfare of all living beings, he purifies his mind from ill will and hatred. Abandoning sloth and torpor, he abides free from sloth and torpor. Percipient of light, mindful and fully aware, he purifies his mind from sloth and torpor. Abandoning restlessness and remorse, he abides unagitated with the mind inwardly peaceful. He purifies his mind from restlessness and remorse. Abandoning doubt, he abides having gone beyond doubt. Unperplexed about wholesome states, he purifies his mind from doubt. Having thus abandoned these 5 hindrances, imperfections of the mind that weaken wisdom, quite secluded from sensual pleasures, secluded from unwholesome states, he enters upon and abides in the first jhana. That is how the Buddha instructed them to practice. Be virtuous, practice wakefulness, restrain your mind, like that Buddha instructed. And Buddha instructs him, the monks, to practice jhana, which is accompanied by applied and sustained thought, with rapture and pleasure born of seclusion. With the stilling of applied and sustained thought, he enters upon and abides in the second jhana, which has self-confidence and singleness of mind. Without applied and sustained thought, with rapture and pleasure born of concentration, with the fading away as well of rapture, he abides in equanimity, and mindful and fully aware, still feeling pleasure with the body, he enters upon and abides in the third jhana, on account of which noble ones announces he has a pleasant abiding who has equanimity and is mindful. With the abandoning of pleasure and pain, and with the previous disappearance of joy and grief, he enters upon and abides in the fourth jhana, which has neither pain nor pleasure, and purity of mindfulness due to equanimity. In this manner, the Buddha instructs his disciples to practice these different things, and even jhana, 4 jhanas. And the Buddha further Buddha says, "This is my instruction, Brahmin. to those bhikkhus who are in the higher training, whose minds have not yet attained the goal, who abides aspiring to the supreme security from bondage. But these things conduce both to a pleasant abiding here and now. That is the purpose of jhana. The purpose of for jhana, the purpose is pleasant abiding here and now, and to mindfulness and full awareness for those bhikkhus who are arahants. For those who are arahants, with taints destroyed, who have lived the holy life, done what had to be done, laid down the burden, reached the true goal, destroyed the fetters of being, and are completely liberated through final knowledge. When this was said, the Brahmin Ganaka Moggallana asked the Blessed One. Now he asked this: when Master Gautama's disciples are thus advised and instructed by him, do they all attain Nibbana, the ultimate goal, or do some not attain it? That was his question. Now the Buddha said how the Buddha trained, how the Buddha disciplines his disciples. Then his question is whether they all attain Nibbana, ultimate goal, or do some not attained, he asked. When Brahmin, they are thus advised and instructed by me, Buddha says, some of my disciples attain Nibbana, the ultimate goal, and some do not attain it. Now the Brahmin says, Master Gautama, since Nibbana exists and the path leading to Nibbana exists, and Master Gautama is present as the guide, what is the cause and reason why when Master Gautama's disciples are thus advised and instructed by him, some of them attain Nibbana, the ultimate goal, and some do not attain it? What is the reason? The Buddha said, as to that, Brahmin, I will ask you a question in return. Answer it as you choose. What do you think, Brahmin? Are you familiar with the road leading to Rajagaha? Rajagaha is another city, distant city. Then he says, yes, Master Gautama, I am familiar with the road leading to Rajagaha. What do you think, Brahmin? Suppose a man come who wanted to go to Rajagaha, and he approached you and said, Venerable Sir, I want to go to Rajagaha. Show me the road to Rajagaha. Then you told him, now, good man, this road goes to Rajagaha. Follow it for a while, and you will see a certain village. Go a little further and you will see a certain town. Go a little further and you will see Rajagaha with its lovely parks, groves, meadows and ponds. Then, having been thus advised and instructed by you, he would take a wrong road and would go to the west. Then the second man come who wanted to go to Rajagaha, and he approached you and said, Venerable Sir, I want to go to Rajagaha. Then you told him, now good man, this road goes to Rajagaha, follow it for a while, and you will see Rajagaha with its lovely parks, groves, meadows and ponds. That is the two persons. Then having heard thus advised and instructed by you, he would arrive safely in Rajagaha. The earlier one, he took the wrong way. This second one, he got the right way. Safely, he therefore arrived Rajagaha in safely. Now, Brahmin, since Rajagaha exists and the path leading to Rajagaha exists and you are present as the guide, what is the cause and reason why, when those men have been thus advised and instructed by you, one man takes a wrong road and goes to the west, and one arrives safely in Rajagaha? Then that man, the accountant, says, what can I do about that, Master Gautama? I am one who shows the way. Buddha said, so too, Brahmin. Nibbana exists and the path leading to Nibbana exists, and I am present here as the guide. Yet, when my disciples have been thus advised and instructed by me, some of them attain Nibbana, the ultimate goal, and some do not attain it. What can I do about that, Brahmin? The Tathagata, the Buddha, is one who shows the way. That is the Buddha's task. Buddhas are the path showers of the path. Buddhas show us the path. This is the path. It is our task is to go on the path. When this was said, the Brahmin Kanaka Moggallana said to the Blessed One, there are persons who are faithless and have gone forth from the home life into homelessness, not out of faith but seeking a livelihood, who are fraudulent, deceitful, treacherous, haughty, hollow, personally vain, rough-tongued, loose-spoken, unguarded in their sense faculties, immoderate in eating, undevoted to wakefulness, unconcerned with recluseship, not greatly respectful of training, luxurious, careless, leaders in backsliding, neglectful of seclusion, lazy, wanting in energy, unmindful, not fully aware, unconcentrated with stray in minds, devoid of wisdom, drivelers. Master Gautama does not dwell together with this. But there are clansmen who have gone forth out of faith from the home life into homelessness. In this manner, the monks who come to this sasana, they get the instructions, get the discipline of the Buddha. Just as who are not fraudulent, deceitful, treacherous, they are in good side of this. Just as black orris root in reckoned as the best of root, perfumes and red sandalwood is reckoned as the best of wood, perfumes and jasmine is reckoned as the best of flower perfumes. So too Master Gautama's advice is supreme among the teachings of today. That is to appreciate the Buddha's advice. He said in this manner. And finally, he says, magnificent Master Gautama, magnificent Master Gautama. Master Gautama has made the Dhamma clear in many ways, as though he were turning upright what had been overturned, revealing what was hidden, showing the way to one who was lost, or holding up a lamp in the dark for those with eyesight to see forms. I go to Master Gautama for refuge, and to the Dhamma and to the Sangha of bhikkhus. He went to the refuge of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. That's the meaning. He finally said, let Master Gautama remember me as a lay follower who has gone to him for refuge for life. Friends, this is the end of this discourse. This is how the Buddha talk about his discipline. Buddha disciplines his disciples in this manner, not abrupt. Buddha trains him, first training, gradual practice, and gradual progress. This is just like the ocean. So friends, let's understand this wonderful teachings of the Buddha and practice this Dhamma in our daily life so that we can experience, we can realize this real peace, real happiness taught by the Buddha as Nibbana. May we all attain that supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu.